second. So I think we will invite most of people who interested in develop geothermal in Taiwan. Okay, let me beginning. Okay, there are three topics I want to talk and want to share the critical information to you. The first one is how renewable energy policy shift to geothermal in Taiwan. In the past decades, most of the renewable energy in Taiwan develop is focused on solar and wind, especially offshore wind. And now we are watching the energy policy shifting to geothermal and other uh, advanced technology in renewable energy. So I think I'll share some information about this point. And second is why we need global expert and Austrian experience. I know in Asia country, it's quite a lot of global expert or expert in the global stage. And especially in the about 10 years ago, I know some guys from EDC, from Philippines, like Jeff, and I think he helped me a lot to answer a lot of questions about their experience, and it's also gives some good impression to our government that the cooperation between Philippines and Taiwan, I think the geothermal energy is most attractive one, and the like Indonesia, they have very strong policy support and Austrian experience. This is also what we want to learn from them. And also the New Zealand have a very good experience with the Maori. They also promote the benefit in the Maori tribes, and the Maori support the geothermal energy a lot. And the third one is the advantage of infrastructure, research, and democracy in Taiwan. I think in Taiwan we have some advantages. Most of the people know our semiconductor company and technology. Also, your laptop, most of the laptop uh, uh, is collect in Taiwan. So in Taiwan, we have a good infrastructure and education and the research, and most of all, the most important thing is democracy. The democracy make our renewable policy change fast, and it will fulfill uh, some peoples who don't know and make the unique industry like geothermal. We are very tiny community, but in a democracy government, they will listen our opinion and they will try to develop more friendly policy and make a geothermal will rebuild again. So the advantages of democracy is quite important in Taiwan. Okay, so I give for a background about in energy of Taiwan. The data from the our world in data energy country profile, and most of the energy in Taiwan are imported, uh, close to 98%. The rate is get lower, but still very high, and is quite incredible high for other people. But that the reason is we imported the fossil fuel and the nuclear uh, from different countries, and that will make uh, our energy system, energy structure more stable in ancient times. So now we are facing the climate crisis and facing the energy transformation, and our government promised the net zero by 2050. So this problem make a big issue. And the second one is most of the electricity come from fossil fuels, close to 84%. That means when our semiconductor need green energy, need renewable energy, uh, less and green energy can buy from the market. Yeah, so our government also promote the green energy, the renewable energy, uh, as best as they can do. But they need more effort and more uh, stimulation. Okay, and the third one is the electricity from the nuclear power. It's down to close to 5%. In the 10 years ago, is close to more than 10% of electricity come from nuclear power. And the last one is the energy from renewables, only 3%. But in the 10 years ago, I think less than 1% of energy come from renewables. So is this is a background of Taiwan energy, but it's shifting, and I'll show you how it shift. So I joined our first target. Okay, why we need renewable energy? The reason is in Taiwan, the temperature is quite higher, and it's quite incredible high, like in the recent 20 years, like global, but it increased temperature more. Yeah. So the impact from the offshore area is quite obvious. The sea level is rising 2 times of average, global average in Taiwan. So that means we will facing the challenge of the climate crisis earlier than everyone. And so the 1/4 of people will first suffer from the climate crisis by 2050, maybe 2030. So that makes the government have to facing the challenge. We should not um, use more fossil fuel, but it's a challenging uh, topic because this challenging is make a lot of energy shifting and is makes quite like a Taiwan Power Company. They're the main supplier of electricity in Taiwan. Most of their power plant are fossil fuel. So and they're building fossil fuel power plant now until 2035. Yeah, so they're facing a lot of challenges. So in Taiwan, the strategy is make the private company to develop more renewable energy, but it's not fast enough. Okay, so the third is we predict there will be a huge GDP impact uh, because we are delaying our adoption strategy. The adoption strategy makes the impact less, um, will make the impact less. But in fact, most of people cannot feel we have adaptation strategy. So people are living in the in the in the in the a schedule as usual. So the adaptation strategy doesn't work in Taiwan. And so we are facing some challenges that in Taiwan, where climate economics index is quite high, although a little bit lower than other countries. But in fact, we will make a big, huge GDP impact after few decades. Okay, When I back to our energy policy, in fact, it is shaping our energy structure. In the ancient, in a few decades ago, uh, there are three trends are happening, and I will show you that our fossil fuel is not go increasing, and our nuclear is go down, and our renewable energy is increasing. What we want is make the train go faster than the policy maker think. Okay, but it's shifting by some critical policy in the recent 10 years, like energy transformation policy, like no nuke policy, and like some company enterprise that join RE 100 and make a promise to buy more green and more renewable energy, and also by the net zero policy. The net zero policy just raised by our government in this year, in the last year, last 2 years. So the policy and the white book um, have emphasized that the geothermal energy will be an advanced energy that they they hope the green energy, the hope the geothermal energy will play a key role in the net zero policy. In the recent decades, the solar and wind go faster. So the policymaker, they they hope that geothermal energy can go faster as solar and wind, but they cannot step forward. They cannot step forward because we have some bad experience before 1993. The reason is we have the first generation geothermal power during the 1982 to 1993. During the first generation of of geothermal energy, we have no injection, and we use the steam turbine to generate the geothermal power, but the steam portion from the geothermal fluid only 10%. So that make the efficiency of our first generation geothermal power is very less. So it's sustained by 1993, but it restart from the 2021, and it generate very well. And now the small scale geothermal power plant have increased to 3, and it will be 5 in the end of the year. So the bad experience make the policy cannot go faster enough. They have different thinking. The geothermal energy make them think different because geothermal have risk in the exploration stage, and most of the industry trend in Taiwan did not support the geothermal energy. But we also have a good experience from offshore wind. In offshore wind, we increase very fast, but we begin from zero, from without any offshore wind industry trend, and we begin from zero to increase to have our own offshore wind farm 2 years ago. So that make the government they have a better confidence that we can learn from the offshore wind, learn from the experience that we build the industry chain, the supply chain from zero. During the 10 years ago, about 2000. 2012, there are some R&D and research works from that time, and this make the the new generation new geothermal power plant have more chances and earth science study have become more prosperous. So the people, the government, they do not suspend only for solar, wind, or gas. These three are increased a lot. They also want to promote geothermal and biomass and ocean uh, energy in the future. And when we talk about the 100% renewable energy project, they're from the Stanford University Professor Jacobson. Their team also make the plan for Taiwan, 100% of the renewable energy. The biggest portion of renewable is geothermal. It's quite surprising for other researchers, other energy um, experts, because the geothermal in Taiwan have bad experience and have very last portion of in the energy structure. But why the 100% team, they think geothermal in Taiwan will be a very huge portion of renewable energy? The reason is our recent research. In fact, Taiwan developed geothermal from EMP's company from 1966, and we have quite a lot exploration data. It is opened until 2019, and I will show you how to get the data later. And from the data, from exploration data, we get information that we have at least 30 gigawatt of geothermal potential, and the number is increasing during some project, like 2013. We have a very scaring a number 180 gigawatt, and the Minister of Science and Technology, they published the data is close to 160 gigawatt of geothermal potential in Taiwan. And in this year, our Central Geology Survey, they have collected all the data from the CPC, from the hot spring wells, and from the EMP company. They have a lot of deep wells for oil and gas exploration, and they focus on number 40, 40 gigawatt of geothermal potential in Taiwan. Even the 40 gigawatt, maybe one third of the geothermal will develop in the future. It can quite similar to the number 30% of energy will support by geothermal energy. So I think the number makes us believe that in Taiwan we need more technology in geothermal, more expert, more experienced team to work for geothermal power project and make the things happen. And most surprising me for foreign friends, we have a big Taipei city. They're very energy consuming city. But in fact, the Tatung volcano group is just nearby. You can see the Taipei 101 here. In the Tatung volcano group, the last explosion is just 6,000 years ago. So it's quite active volcano group. And also we produced the first dry steam power plant in Taiwan just beneath the Tatung volcano group. It's just a very small dry steam power plant, only 1.2 megawatt, but it located in this area. What does it mean? The blue color. That means the blue color means they have a low magnetic value. The low magnetic value surrounded by the high magnetic value. It just means there's some alteration and the fluid channel, a big fluid channel located here. There's not only one, and there are three the similar structure in the depth of 1 kilometer slice. So we believe in the Taiwan, in the Tatung volcano area, we should have more geothermal power later. And this is just the first one. So the energy policy is shifting to encourage the company to invest geothermal, and also it loses some unreasonable restrict to geothermal energy. Like there's some example for you. The most big impact is from the environmental impact assessment. The threshold for implementing the EIA is just adjust from 0.5 megawatt to 10 megawatt. The 0.5 megawatt is established from the 2009. So at that time, no geothermal, no investor interest geothermal development because the threshold is too unreasonable. And the second policy for optimizing the investment is the import equipment and component. It will be exempt from the import duties. So although as far as I know, there's no example from this benefit, but I think is when there are more global company, engineering company come to Taiwan, and it will be help and a lot. And the third one is the government have made great effort and to protect the rights and interest for the geothermal developer. We know this what geothermal developer concerned. So the government makes some policy. Now we have through the Li Fa Yuan as make a new chapter for geothermal energy in the Renewable Energy Act to protect the rights for geothermal developer. And I think it's also a big change, especially to welcome the geothermal developer investor from global. So there's new exploration incentive mechanism. In fact, the incentive mechanism is from almost 20 years, but it doesn't work at all. And the reason, the first reason is the EIA restrict, and the second is uh, the restrict from the mechanism is on. In ancient time, um, the developer they cannot loan any money from bank, and they have to pay their own money to drill to cover the exploration risk. But now the new incentive mechanism make the industry can apply the exploration incentive and cover their survey fee and some cost from the drilling, the first well drilling. So it's in the when the mechanism rise 2 years ago, 3 years ago, there are almost 10 projects have applied this mechanism, and as I know, more than 3 projects doesn't apply this mechanism. The reason is they may get the fee, the drilling cost, covering the drilling cost when a well is not successful. Yeah. So for a company, if they have a confidence to drill a successful wells, they may not apply this in this incentive mechanism, or they apply this mechanism for their second wells. Okay, so this kind of the incentive policy makes the geothermal industry get more prosperous than 1 decade ago. But it's not enough. It's far enough. So that's why we need global expert and more aggressive outstrength experience. There's a new policy from the Ministry of Economics. They would like to accelerating the traditional development, like in the Taiwan area or the eastern area, like Hualien and Taitung and Yilan. The three area have a huge geothermal power, a huge geothermal potential. In Taitung, most of the issue is the national park. So we also have some communication with the national park and make them have a good thinking, correct thinking for geothermal development, and take the example from Japan and Philippines. Yeah. So for the CGS, the conventional geothermal system, they want to accelerating more project, and also they want to expand in the resource exploration. Most of the data you get from our database are from 40 years ago. That's come from the 1960 to 1980s. The well data are open to public and also open to global, but this that old data are not good enough for new exploration. So the government and also the Central Geological Survey. They have raised quite a lot of new exploration project with the new technology and the new drilling drilling site to collect more data to public. And also they want to evaluate new technology from the EGS or AGS or SGS because they focus on some new technology will cost less and the and the and the energy will get cheaper by 2030. So they want to cooperate with other uh, with the new drilling technology and to to corroborate new sites. And also uh, to salute the trouble that suspend the development in the ancient time. Yeah. So this the the outrange policy by the uh, Bureau of Energy and also the Ministry of Economic. But it's not enough. What we see is geothermal energy is much better than other renewable energy combined. This is a report from the US DOE. Uh, in fact, this report is focused on advanced nuclear, but this figure shows us that geothermal energy is better than nuclear power in these 7 features, uh, like clean, foreign, and the low land use, and the low transmission build out, and concentrate local economic benefits, and also additional applications. And the most important, the geothermal energy is cost competitive today. Okay, so this new information, I think, will make the government think twice or think more how to promote geothermal in Taiwan. And when we talk about the investment for renewable energy, in fact, is less than we need. If we consider the 1.5 degree of Celsius scenario, um, we must invest much more renewable energy. For example, for geothermal, we have to add much than we think. It's more than 5 times that we need to invest, and this also different scenario than the government think. I think for other countries also very encouraging for renewable group because the renewable energy most of the investment is focused on the solar and the wind, but less focus on the geothermal. But in fact, we need push the government to invest uh, more energy, more their development plan on geothermal, and make the geothermal will catch these three this these 6 advantages of energy. So this conference held by our association, Taiwan Geothermal Association, and also we cooperate with the Ministry of Economics and Bureau of Energy in this conference. and we invite a lot of the 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 very important person to our conference, and they share their experience, and also they share their technology in the EGAs, and also SGAs, and also AGAs, and make the official government believe that geothermal will be a big feature in Taiwan. But we need more cooperation, more foreign company to knock the door, yeah. And just like offshore wind, the foreign company knock the door, and the government have new vision to the market, to their policy. Before the conference, our government may just announce we may only have 20 megawatt by 2025. Although we have quite a lot of project ongoing in Taiwan, the lump sum is almost 46 megawatt of the total number. But most of the project is belong to the private company, and they require work hard and work difficult. The reason is in Taiwan, our drilling machine for geothermal wells, only three drilling machine, three drilling group can do the things, and the two out of the three they upgrade their machine, their rigs from the hot spring wells. So that make the drilling work for geothermal wells is risky work and less efficiency. So that's why we quite interesting in the drilling company like Schlumberger or Baker Hughes and Halliburton. Those oil gas service company, they have a very excellent drilling technology, and also have a good experience in drilling, and quite difficult drilling project. So that's why we think we need more global expert and more experienced team to help those project can successfully build up and also extend to big scale. Okay, so our temporary only 20 megawatt by 2025, and there's another goal. As much conservative goal is 46 to less than 200 megawatt. The reason is when they make the goal, they face a lot of challenges, a lot of risks by law, restricted by other law. So they don't think the geothermal development will be smoothly developed like offshore wind. The law frame is made a big challenge for the government. Is a little funny, but it's in fact is a fact in Taiwan. But fortunately, we just crossed the barrier by shifting the law, and make the new technology like airborne magnetic or airborne gravity. The government will cost their money to do the research and share the data to public. So make the private project will be less risky. And also they do some detailed exploration in the eastern Taiwan. For long term, Originally they think the technology, the EGS technology is not mature, but we saw there are several reports from this year, have focused on the EGS and SGS and also AGS. They focus that they emphasize that the cost will last by 2030. So invest new technology must be a beneficial challenge. Also, the explorer subsidy that I mentioned before, they have become friendly, encourage both domestic and foreign investor can also imply this subsidy. And in the last talk, I want to focus on the advantage of our infrastructure in research and democracy. And I will share my PPT file to you, and you can collect the data from our geothermal exploration system and also the single service windows for geothermal power. They collect a lot of data, and you can get information from these two web. And want to talk the FIT value is increasing for the less than 2 megawatts, and the highest price is 22 close to 23 cents per kilowatt hour. It's less than the Japan and less than Indonesia. But I think the government will get more information when the business mechanism need to increase, and they will increase based on the data, based on the economic data. And we have two different kind of calculation. One is for single stage, another is two stage. The two stage have high price in the first 10 years and less price for the last 10 years. They will want to make the developer have benefit. IR get much good numbers for IR. Yeah. And when I'm a scientist, geologic scientist, so we collect a lot of data, and we know there in Taiwan we have very strong research in the earth sciences. So in the earth science, we get most of the volcanoes, like people may not know, the offshore submarine volcano, offshore volcano, and also hot spring, quite a lot disputed, and it's quite close to a close relation with the regional seismicity. Yeah, so we also apply the microseismic to do the exploration for geothermal reservoir. Also, the magnetic survey is quite cover the whole island, and some volcano area. This is the Tatung volcano area, and we see two spots the offshore submarine volcano. There's the Turtle Island. Turtle Island is a big island, very hot, and this yellow dot is the magma chamber area, the area of magma chamber beneath 30 kilometers. And a strong infrastructure. This all the power plant have located, and the main power grid connected in this area. The red part is the potential area for geothermal potential, the geothermal potential area. So for the last power grid area, the government is increasing planning for more power grid in the eastern area, and also we have some geothermal potential, that deep geothermal resource can supply some enterprise. They need RE 100, and most of areas overlap with the traditional territory of indigenous people. So the indigenous people they welcome the geothermal development based on the New Zealand experience in the recent time. This example from the Hualien Baseload company, Baseload Taiwan company, they utilize the some AR equipment to make the students understand what is geothermal power plant, and they join the festival of the tribe and communication with them what is geothermal energy. And also they have translate the books, publish it, like our hidden powers. So it's we are making a new goals like 3.0 to 6.2 gigawatt by 2015, and we want to make it true. We need the power, the manpower, the expert from the Asia and from the global, and also we want to Taiwan can help make other country can promote their geothermal resource as well. Okay, thank you, Allah. 感謝。
Thank you, Basalt. That was a very thorough presentation. Thanks for all your efforts putting that together.
Yeah.
We've got a few minutes left, so there's a couple of questions, which is great. Shall I just run through those for you?
Yes.
First one is from Ray Alvarado. Thanks, Ray. Related to geothermal electricity production, can you tell us at a high level how extensive is the existing electrical transmission grid in Taiwan? Well, you showed that in the slide, didn't you? They're mostly on the west coast.
Yeah.
Or will geothermal electricity be sent as distributed power, e.g. to semiconductor centers?
Yeah. Let me think. Okay.
The question's in the chat.
Oh, in the chat? Okay, in the chat, I saw it. Wow. Hi, Jeff. Long time no see. Okay. Yeah. Now we have geothermal law in Taiwan. Now we have, and it just passed from the lawmaker in this semester. So they have some detail need to negotiate with to the public. So also we welcome you to have negotiation with our government about the detail of the new laws. Yeah, that's I think they are welcome, and they want to support from very experienced countries. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also they need the industry people. They may concern their resource. So also in the eastern area, they support the new power grid for them to develop geothermal energy. That's what I know. They quite invest a lot for the power grid. Yeah.
So how aggressive would you say is the government's current program and policies to fast track geothermal development in Taiwan? That was another question from Ray.
Oh, its concurrent program policy too fast. I think it's not fast enough for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we didn't have any roadmap for EGAs, AGAs, or SGAs. In fact, Taiwan can develop such kind of new type of geothermal energy. For the EGAs or AGAs, it can utilize in the western area. In the western area, we're basing. The temperature degree is quite a lot. Also, in some offshore volcano, we may utilize the SGAs for develop supercritical geothermal. But and in my research, we do the reservoir exploration with a microseismic in the eastern area, and we found some supercritical signature from the seismic. Yeah, so I think in Taiwan we have good potential for supercritical geothermal system. So, but we didn't join the team, the global team for the supercritical system. Yeah.
Yeah,
and
there's a lot more work to be done in the supercritical space to even for geothermal utilization, I think. So it's still very much in the research space. There's a question from Eric Gonzalez. Taiwan does not have an ideal infrastructure situation to support drilling. What are the plans to assist drilling?
Okay. In the end of the year, the CPC, they will import 3 rigs, semi-automatic rigs for geothermal, and they want to make their drilling team more close to the global. Yeah, but as I know, there's still some private company, they want to buy the rig by their own and make the team. Yeah, so I think even though the supply chain for the drilling need cost a lot, and I think in Taiwan we have buyer. We have buyer for the for geothermal power. So I think it's not a trouble, because our infrastructure, a lot of bridges and channel also need some advanced technology and machine equipment.
Yeah.
So we have such kind of similar experience. So I think it will be built up maybe in the recent 3 years.
Okay, look, we've just rounded out the hour, so I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in for this talk. Thank you also to Basalt for putting in the effort and time to put the presentation together. That was a very thorough explanation of the present situation in Taiwan. So thank you very much, everyone, and goodbye. Thanks, Basalt.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thanks, Basalt.
My presentation is can share to public. So
okay,
if people want to make it as a PDF file.
Yes, I can do that, and I'm happy to do that. Or if people want to email you directly, that's fine as well.
Thank you.
And also, this has been recorded, so it'll be up on the IGA website in the coming weeks, days, maybe even.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you, Basalt. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thanks,
Thank
Basalt.
you.